Alright, so I'm going to try to show everybody a little bit about El Nino. A couple of you had requested what El Nino was all about. So anyway, El Nino is completely natural. It's been going on for hundreds of years. Fishermen actually first found out about it. And then all of a sudden, usually around Christmas time, fish populations off the South American coast would just collapse. And it turns out it was largely due to El Nino. So what I'm first going to draw are normal conditions across the equatorial Pacific Ocean. So I'm going to start here, and I'm going to imagine that this AUS is Australia, this SA is South America, with the big Pacific Ocean in the middle. All right? Again, these are normal conditions. So what usually happens across the Pacific Ocean is you get the trade winds going from east to west. What that generally causes, or is a result of, is you have high pressure over South America, low pressure over Australia. So these are normal conditions. And again, this is a large reason why portions of coastal South America are among the driest places in the entire planet. There are places there that actually get almost no rain at all. So the winds are generally blowing in this direction. Again, these are called the trade winds. And what happens is it's taking a lot of this surface water and pushing it towards Australia. It turns out that sea level is actually significantly higher in Australia than it is off the coast of South America. So what happens when you're pushing this water across is you get water that has to be replaced from deep below. That's called upwelling. Upwelling is when you get cold ocean water from the depths coming up to the surface. This brings nutrients, all kinds of stuff to the surface. It's vital for the ecosystem. So again, normal conditions. A couple of you asked about what it's called a thermocline. A thermocline is a change in temperature, a rapid change in temperature as you go down. So with these conditions, the warm waters in Australia, cold waters in South America, and the thermocline looks something like that, where it's warm up here, cold down here. All right, so these are going to be normal conditions. This is what generally happens throughout the year. So now what I'm going to draw is I'm going to switch it up, and I'm going to draw El Nino. So we'll erase this with this snazzy eraser here. So El Nino happens, again, we're going to start here with Australia, South America, Pacific Ocean. El Nino starts when, you can almost imagine the Pacific is a big bathtub. The trade winds were piling all this water up by Australia, and then for reasons that are still not perfectly understood, all of a sudden that water comes sloshing back across the Pacific Ocean. That changes everything. So one of the immediate results is that the high and low pressures switch, and that South America, which is usually under high pressure, actually becomes lower pressure. If it ever rains there, it's during an El Nino season. Australia generally has high pressure. If you ever hear about terrible fire seasons in Australia, again, that's usually caused during an El Nino. So now our trade winds either stop or actually even reverse a little bit. And you get water going like that, or the air going like that. So when you have an air moving now in this direction, this upwelling completely stops. Again, imagine if your wind is generally blowing in this direction, blowing all your surface water away, that's when you get upwelling. If you don't have that wind blowing over the surface, upwelling is not going to occur. So now what happens is your thermocline completely flattens out, and your equatorial Pacific Ocean warms up considerably. Might sound nice, but it actually decimates the fish populations off of South America because, again, the ecosystem that relies on this upwelling for nutrients, when that upwelling stops, the fish populations either die out or move on. So again, that's when fishermen discovered it. So this would be El Nino conditions. The entire cycle here is what's called ENSO. It stands for El Nino Southern Oscillation. A key point is here, El Nino is not just the ocean. El Nino Southern Oscillation is a very intricate balance between the ocean and the atmosphere. And then again, we're talking about the trade winds changing directions and the corresponding effect on the ocean. So that's a brief overview of ENSO. A couple of you also noted that during El Nino, maybe sometimes the warming might occur in the eastern Pacific Ocean, other times maybe in the central Pacific Ocean. This is actually very new research, and it turns out that where that warming occurs have big impacts downwind from the Pacific, so it can actually impact global climate. And again, this is very new research, and it is clear that not all El Ninos are created equally. I guess that's it for now, so hopefully you like this video. I've never done this before for an online class. So if you have any questions, as always, feel free to let me know. Take care.